Most people think competition is the key to success. They are wrong. Competition is actually a trap that destroys your profit. Everything you have been told about competition is a lie. We are taught from a young age that the harder we compete, the more successful we will become. We are told that competition breeds excellence. But in reality, the more you compete, the less you actually gain. If you want to build something truly legendary, competition is not the goal, it is the enemy. In business, and even in our professional lives, we are conditioned to believe that doing something better is the only way to win. We look at what is already working for others, and we try to do it slightly faster, slightly cheaper, or with a better design. This is what we call horizontal progress. It feels safe because there is already a roadmap. If someone else is making money doing it, there must be a market, right? But here's the problem. When you enter a crowded market, your profit margins disappear. You spend all your time and energy fighting for a tiny slice of the pie instead of baking a new one. This is the trap of incrementalism. You're working harder than ever, yet you're barely moving the needle on your net worth or your impact. You are stuck in a race to the bottom where the only prize for the winner is survival. This constant struggle happens because we assume the world is a fixed place where we must fight for existing resources. We fail to see that the biggest opportunities do not come from competing, they come from creating. What if I told you that the most successful people in the world do not compete at all? They do something entirely different. They do not look for a better way to do an old thing. They look for a way to do a new thing that has never been done. This is the core thesis of 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. It is the difference between globalization and technology. Globalization is taking things that work and spreading them everywhere. That is, going from one to many. Technology, however, is the act of doing something new. That is going from 0 to 1. In this video on book summaries for self-growth, we are going to show you why your current strategy is likely designed for mediocrity and how one shift in perspective can put you in a category of 1. Are you building a better version of yesterday, or are you creating tomorrow? Think of it this way. If you build 100 typewriters, you have gone from 1 to many. You have scaled, but you have not innovated. You are still in the typewriter business, and you will have to fight every other typewriter maker on price and features. But if you build the first word processor, you have gone from 0 to 1. You have created a new category. This is the new reality. Real wealth and massive progress come from vertical movement, not horizontal expansion. When you go from 0 to 1, you are not just a player in the market, you are the market. You create a monopoly. Now, the word monopoly often has a negative reputation, but in a value creation context, it simply means you are so much better at what you do that no one else can even come close to offering a substitute. You are not fighting for scraps, you own the kitchen. This shift requires you to stop looking at your neighbors and start looking at the blank spaces in the world. You must ask yourself one specific, difficult question. What valuable company is nobody building? Or what truth do you know that very few people agree with you on? It is a question that forces you to look for secrets that other people have missed because they were too busy competing. Look at the giants of industry. Google did not try to be a slightly better version of a library or a phone book. They solved the problem of information retrieval in a way that made every other tool obsolete. They did not compete, they escaped competition. By the time the world realized what was happening, Google had already gone from 0 to 1. They became a monopoly because their value was unique. The same applies to your career or your personal brand. If you're just another accountant or another software engineer, you are a commodity, you are replaceable, and your income will always be capped by the market rate. But if you combine unique skills to solve a problem that no one else even recognizes, you become a category of 1. That's where the high-value outcomes and the massive financial rewards are found. The proof is in the results. The people who create the most value are always those who step out of the crowd and build something that did not exist before. We post new video on every Saturday to help you master these high-level principles and grow your potential. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Here's your uncomfortable takeaway for today. Look at your current project, your business, or your career path. If you can describe what you do by comparing it to a competitor, you are in the trap. If your pitch is that you are like Company X but better, you are headed for the middle of the pack. Your task is to identify one thing you are doing right now just because everyone else is doing it, and stop. Instead, find a problem that is being ignored because it's too hard or too weird. If you are not building a monopoly in your niche, you are just waiting to be replaced. Stop trying to be the best and start being the only.